Let's start reviewing the timeline. First of all, the timeline is fixed, and it is repeated both above and below the age scale. Each graduated marking on the timeline represents 1 year. The timeline starts at 1966, which is the year that the Canada Pension Plan first started to pay out retirement pensions, and the timeline ends in the year 2100. Important information about the CPP and CPP calculations has been placed around the timeline in a manner that lets you see what year the particular item began to take effect. For example, it is well known that if you start CPP later than age 65, that your retirement pension amount is larger by 0.7% for every month the start is delayed after age 65. However, if you started CPP later than age 65 in the year 2010, the bonus for delaying was only 0.5% per month. I'll explain all these pieces of information in other videos. For now, I'm going to wrap up reviewing the timeline itself. There are 3 sizes of graduations on the timeline: large, medium, and small. Most of the time, the large graduations are spaced every 10 years at the beginning of a decade. For example, there are large graduations for the years 1990, 2000, and 2010. A notable exception is that there are large graduations for the years 2019 and 2024. This is because 2019 and 2024 are the years that the 2 parts of the enhanced CPP began to take effect. 2019 and 2024 are critical years for both the enhanced CPP and for using the tool. These years have to stand out, so they were given large graduations, whereas the beginning of the decade 2020 is less important for using the tool, so 2020 was given a medium graduation. Medium graduations simply break up the space halfway between the large graduations. This helps make the timeline easier to read. For example, there are medium graduations for the years 1995, 2005, and 2015. Small graduations are used for the rest of the years. The color red is used on some graduations so that they stand out. Red is used for 2019 and 2024 because these are critical years for both the enhanced CPP and for using the tool. 2025 is red because in 2025, the gradual phasing in process for the enhanced CPP is complete. 2020 is red because it is the beginning of a decade, but it doesn't have a large graduation for the reason mentioned earlier. The years 2000 and 2100 have red graduations because these years mark the beginning of a century, and 1966 is red because it is the year the CPP started. The triangles that you see around the timeline have been placed at key points that signify major events and to help line up information to the graduations. You'll notice that the beginning of most decades only use 2 digits. For example, the year 1990 is simply indicated by 90. This is done to keep the reference tool less cluttered and easier to read. Instead, red is used to indicate the first 2 digits of a century. For example, we know that this 90 is 1990 because of the red 19 here at 1970. And we know that this 90 is 2090 because of the red 20 here at 2000. Red is also used to show the full 4-digit year for key years such as 1966, when the CPP started, and for 2019 and 2024, when the two parts of the enhanced CPP each respectively started. In other timeline videos, we'll cover contribution rates, the general dropout, the MPEA, or maximum pensionable earnings average, and the actuarial age adjustment factors.